Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me this afternoon is Wade Thompson, one of our city planners, leading the Healthy Neighborhood Initiative plan. Wade, how you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for reminding me of this, of all the great stuff you're doing here. First and foremost, for people who don't know what the Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative is, and that's what we will be talking about today. Where did this begin?
Sure. So when we talk about the initiative, we use the acronym HNI, and we're talking essentially about three neighborhoods in our northern tier. Maybe at some point we could show a map. But I'm moving west to east. We've got Verona Road West. We've got Belmar Renaissance on the Park. And then we've got our North Fishhatchee Road neighborhood. And basically what we did is about 2 years ago, we found some really good data supplied by our Regional Planning Commission that kind of identified that in the county, Fitchburg has a fair amount of neighborhoods that just need some attention. Various issues related to public safety, public health, aging housing stock. So as a city body, we really figured out that we need to start thinking strategically about how to work better in these neighborhoods. So literally about 2 years ago, we created a memo, put together some data with some of those points I just mentioned, presented that to our Community and Economic Development Authority. And from that memo, we've created lots of good things. We've created a strategic plan that's currently in draft form. We're hoping to get adopted in March by our council. We've created a grant program to support our neighborhood partners. We've set aside some money to initiate a study on a neighborhood center in one of the neighborhoods. And just overall, we've really kind of enabled some of our community partners, enabled city staff to really, again, think strategically about working better and more cooperatively in these three neighborhoods.
Absolutely. As far as that strategic plan goes, what are some of the elements? I mean, you've pretty well described some of
Sure.
the big pieces in here, but as far as what will be adopted in this strategic plan, take us through it.
Yeah, I think, and maybe we can direct people to the city's website too later if they are interested, but I think the website really sums up a lot of the key pieces of that plan. Specifically, we have what we call pillars and pillar principles, which are essentially, I think, about 6 categories that we really want to work at in these neighborhoods. And then underneath those pillars, we have what are called pillar principles, which are essentially goal statements that address those pillars. We also have things called indicators, which is basically a framework that city staff can use to evaluate the success of our initiative. If we're not seeing success, we can modify it and then really work towards seeing that success. In terms of specific pieces that we're going to use to implement the initiative, we're looking at what we're calling action items. In the draft plan, I think we have about 16 action items covering various issues related to employment, housing, public safety, public health, neighborhood spaces, really kind of the broad gambit of, again, some of the issues that we're seeing in the neighborhood. And over the course of a 5-year period, we hope to implement those action items, evaluate it through our indicator framework, and really move towards those pillar principles that I mentioned earlier. So lots of good stuff in that plan.
Why is it so important to do this? The big question here.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of reasons. I think as a city planner, we want to see all our neighborhoods doing well. We don't want to see opportunities for our residents in all those neighborhoods. I think you could say, based on our city's geography, that some of these neighborhoods in our northern tier, our residents just don't have access to opportunities. And I think at the end of the day, this is really about creating those opportunities in an equitable manner. And I think that has ripple effects. It really boosts our tax base. It leads to potential for economic growth, future development. And it also just stabilizes our residents and the neighborhoods.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of construction and a lot of new neighborhoods going up, so it's nice to see a look back at, or maybe not look back, but that, we want to keep everything up in par. If people want to get involved with this or learn more about it, what would be some of the steps in doing so?
Yeah, I would definitely direct people as a first step to go to the webpage, maybe get a sense of what we're all about. Certainly contact me if they want to get more information. And then one of the action items that I did touch on earlier is actually development of a volunteer database citywide. Eventually, we hope to get that online where people can kind of go online, plug into that website, put in their skill set, put in their areas of interests, put in their geographic interests in terms of neighborhoods, and then we can kind of match them up with neighborhoods and issues in those neighborhoods. So I would maybe have people give us, some time to develop that. But I think in the next year or so, we can really flesh that out, and then people can certainly plug in where they see fit.
How important is it then, once we get this adopted and we start continuing moving these steps, this will be a working plan for years to come?
Yeah, I think the way we're framing it initially is kind of as a 5-year pilot. I think certainly as we run the course of the pilot, we hope to show success. In my opinion, I think we need to show success to make sure our council is comfortable continuing to support it. I think we're in it for the long run. We view it as an investment. We want to produce results. And at the end of the day, we want something that the city can really, really feel good about.
Well, Wade, it's an impressive piece. A lot of work I know that you've spent, and others as well. So it looks great, and we look forward to having you back on and give us any updates. And certainly we'll pass on any additional information that when the public can get involved or how they can get involved. And
great.
And we look forward to talking more about it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And as I said, feel free to contact me if folks are interested. So.
He's a talker. You wouldn't believe it. He's a talker, so you're going to want to talk to this guy. Yeah, that's Wade Thompson, one of your city planners here, City of Fitchburg, in the Healthy Neighborhood Initiative. We'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.